Hi, I'm Xena. Xena Pappas, Xena Warrior Princess, or Xena Infibless. I'm going to try this live stream again. And if nobody comes on, oh well, they don't come on. But that's going to be one of the underwarps of this movie. Apparently, you make one mistake and everybody has to leave the live stream. So I did a live stream yesterday. And then I block and ban this man or woman by mistake because I misunderstood what they said. So when I unblock them and unban them, that's it. It's like the underwarp is done. They're done talking. They're done speaking. And then everybody leaves. They don't say nothing. They just leave. And then one user actually tells me they're leaving, so that's fine. And then I'm by myself for a while. Then another user comes on and we start talking about things. So if that's the way they're going to be, if they're going to let that one little thing run them off of a YouTube live stream, making it out to be like that blocking and banning is some type of evil thing that one cannot be forgiven for. You know, they're going to act like that they never blocked or banned someone by mistake or never misunderstood what a man or woman said. Okay? I guess they're flawless. Anyway, so today COMCAST had a bind with their cable and their telephone and internet, or Alter Web and the Far Talker. Apparently, one of their wires at their main headquarters got besmirched. They don't know how. It just got besmirched. And apparently it was all over. This wire affected everyone in all the 50 states. Anyone who had COMCAST, either you had no cable, or you had no telephone, or you had internet, but some websites wouldn't load. And they didn't get this fixed till about 3 in the afternoon. And I know what some men or women are going to say. Well, yeah, I know there are going to be some men and women who have Verizon, AT&T, Time Warner Cable, Chester Cox, and they're going to say that they had never had a bind like that. Well, everything gets besmirched over time. COMCAST isn't flawless, but then again, I think it's good to have them than to have someone else. You know, that's just been my experience. Now, you might think to yourself, oh, well, you know, wires get besmirched over time. And I know it's some men or women might think, oh, well, they're trying the internet. They're trying to make package deals off the Elder Web. Yeah, you know that crap they were talking about December of last year that didn't fall through, that didn't work, or at least it worked, but not the way they thought. Horror stories about how they were going to make laws. They were going to make internet providers package deal websites. Well, it turns out that law never happened. The way that it was presented did not happen the way it was said. So are all those men and women who were afraid that the Alder Web was going to be either censored or was going to be package deals? Well, if it was a package deal, then explain to me how you wouldn't. And there's no package deals. They don't give you internet website package deals. They give you speeds. Oh, that was going to be the other thing. Apparently, they were going to make different speed deals. And everybody's going to have certain websites and certain speeds. That's what they believed. I don't know. They believed it. And it was scaring them for a whole year. And it didn't happen. The Federal Communication Commission made whatever ruling whatever law they made it. And the internet is still the way it is. You know, with really good websites and really bad websites, and then websites that really shouldn't be on the internet to be all the way to begin with. So there still is nobody on my live stream. Yeah, must have ran them all off. Yeah, I made it evil. I was so evil, so bad, so wrong for blocking and banning that man or woman by mistake, misunderstanding what they said. And apparently that ran them off. Can't be forgiven for that. Well, if that's the way that they're going to be, then maybe I shouldn't have them as my followers, okay? If they're going to let little things like that make them want to leave, okay? Is this like a handicap? Like, oh, you blocked and banned that man or woman. You misunderstood what they said. And it doesn't matter if you said you were sad for it and unblocked them, unbanned them for misunderstood what they said. Well, we're going to handicap you. You know, we're going to make you like, you know, oh, hi. At least one man or woman comes on my live stream. I guess I didn't run them all off. So just in case you came in, Comcast had a bind with their telephone, cable, and internet. Their wire broke or was, besmirched at their main headquarters in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, United States. And, either the cable was out, I guess having about 10. They didn't get it fixed to about 7. The internet was on, but certain websites wouldn't work. Like Twitter, the Carnegie Library, Portview Borough, for example, XENA Center. Those websites were on can't run websites. But you could go to W Network and Hulu and Amazon and Hulu and Netflix and W Network and YouTube just fine. Wikipedia worked. And then eventually all the websites started working again. But then if you tried to call them during that time, you couldn't get on because their wires were messed up. Then he eventually got the phone back up, and then the cable finally came back on. Well, I was working at the Truth Initiative, an organization which goal is to try to teach people, men and women, the evils of smoking. But it's a losing fight since, and that's when it happened. Well, what terrible thing, I don't want to know, what terrible thing happened in Virginia and Maryland that I don't know about. There's a lot of terrible things that happen, a lot of evil and bad things that happen every day. So I don't know which thing you're talking about. I don't know. I guess I was too busy yesterday working at the Truth Initiative and going to Spain, and I didn't know about that. Yes, I know. Shootings as usual. I basically tried my best. I tried my good. I worked with I tried to lobby and activists against getting better gun laws that made it where the right men and women had the right guns for the right reasons. But then again, that's a losing fight too. I was a part of the March for Your Life thing, So it is what it is at that point. So I guess I didn't completely run everybody off. And I know what you came on my live stream and you're wondering, what am I talking about? Well, I made a live stream yesterday. Well, I removed it, but I made one yesterday. And I, misunderstood what some user said. So I blocked and banned them. Well, actually, I banned them. And then I unban them, and I say I'm sad for it because I misunderstood what they said. And next thing you know, all my users stop talking. They just leave. And then there was no one there. But some other user came on at the end, and we started talking. And I'm thinking, they're going to try to handicap me, make me feel bad, and not forgive me for a mistake. Like, oh, well, you're evil. You banned this man or woman by mistake. You misunderstood what they said. We can't forgive you. It is what it is at this point. So, yeah. So here is the thing, and I'm going to probably get to another underwarp here I'm going to talk about, is that my show, Xena Warrior Princess, was many men and women always, try to get my show back. But the sad thing is that no matter how, they always go the wrong ways. They always think if they can get to Lucille Lawless and Evelyn O'Connor, it will work out. Well, I don't think the show players really have any control over it. I mean, yeah, Robert Tapper and Sam Rodrini, they are the subsidiary heads of NBC Renaissance Pictures. But you got to remember, Renaissance Pictures has been a subsidiary of Universal Studios. It's been a subsidiary of NBC Universal, a subsidiary of COMCAST for a long time. Actually, Renaissance Pictures has been a subsidiary of Universal Studios since 1993 AD, back when it was owned by RCA, and then, Virtual Universal and General Electronics, and then Comcast. So they don't really have the same type of, control or ownership over the things they once had. Plus, back in 2005, 2015 AD, they were trying to do a reboot. They were going to get the showrunner and head booker from Survivor, Outlive, was going to do it, but he quit on them. And then they were going to get Katrina Hall to play Xena, but Katrina Hall didn't feel comfortable doing it for whatever points, and then she left. And then the subsidiary head of MC Universal declared it dead. So maybe what we can do is, I'm Xena Warrior Princess. It's my channel. That's why I'm on here. That's why this doll's on here. That's that's why my doll's on here. I'm Xena Pappas. That's my channel, and that's why I'm on it. Hopefully that answered. Hopefully I answered that. See, that was the thing I misunderstood yesterday when I did a live stream that I removed from YouTube. That's the way it is. That's why I got a doll on it. That's why I'm here, Xena said. It's my YouTube channel. I'm Xena Pappas, Xena Warrior Princess, Xena Amphipolis, and that's why you see a doll here. None of these YouTube channels had nothing to do with Dwayne. Not Sailor Moon Tube 11, not Power Rangers Red, not Jordan Long Channel, not TVF Cole 123. Hopefully, and they're not Xena Pappas. I know that there's some men and women out there that they come on as themselves, but that channel was never devoted around him. And after I probably say that, you're going to probably run off like the other users did. It happens. Well, when if you left, you left. So back when I used to use Google Hangout, and I only used Google Hangout from 2015 AD to 2016 AD, since YouTube phased out webcam capture. Then I put in wrong keywords in the Google Web Store. And then from like 2016 to 2018, I was using sundry different programs. Online video recorder, native video recorder, cam recorder. Either they work for, 3 months, 1 year, or for 2 months. And then finally, there was an update where LG made this webcam recorder, there was an update where the likeness taker became a movie maker, and I've been using that one to make my movies ever since. But when I used to do Google Hangout, no one would come on. I wouldn't get anybody watching, nobody talking, nobody booking anything. Goodbye, I'm going to rotten some eggs. Rolling some eggs. Okay, goodbye. Roll out those eggs. I don't really like eggs, but everybody's got their own likes. So it is what it is at this point. Well, now apparently I'm going to be by myself again. This user is now going to go do some cooking, I'm guessing, with eggs. And it is what it is. So what else do I got to talk about here? Well, what I did talk about on my other live stream that I deleted, that I removed or undid, was my books. Or at least, no, the books that my daughter Gabrielle made. You know, they were, I mean, they're notebooks, they're composition books. I mean, she's the fighting Booker, okay? Sorry for sad for clearing my throat here, but it is what it is. Now I don't got anybody on here. But anyway, I guess it is. Sorry, clearing my throat. What else was I going to say? Now I'm clearing my throat multiple times. Well, anyway, this is basic. Anyway, what else am I going to talk about? I really do think that my show should come back. Okay? Even if Hallmark's going to do it. I mean, Hallmark always gets the rights to do things, so sorry for that again. So Hallmark really should do this. You know, it would be nice to see my show again, but most likely, if it does come back, it's going to come back, you know, underneath somebody else's ownership. And you have so many XENA followers out there that they want it to be Lucille Lawless. They want it to be Evelyn O'Connor. They don't want it to be anybody else, you know. You know, it's like, oh, well, you keep hearing about it. You go, I mean, it's like keep talking about. It's like, well, you know, sometimes you might not get what you want. All right. I mean, maybe XENA will come back and it'll be Angelina Jolie. You never know. Might be me. You know. But sometimes you can't always get what you want. A lot of XENA-nites out there, they want Renaissance Pictures, Universal Studios. They want COMCAST to do a new XENA. They want Lucille Lawless. They want Evelyn O'Connor. But sometimes you don't always get what you want. So if you do get a renew or a reboot or a whatever you want to call it, it's going to probably be with new show players, you know. And granted, you know, some are going to like it. Well, apparently there's nobody on here, and my one user left. They have to go do something with making a bowl of some eggs. I don't like eggs. You know, I don't like the way they smell. So I'm gonna clear my throat again. I better get something to drink before I go on with this. Hold on, I'm gonna get something to drink. XENA says I'm gonna be back. Well, I'm back here, XENA says. I had to have a drink of diet cherry Pepsi soda. And still having to clear my throat. So what else was I going to say? Oh, you know, there's always so many other people, men and women out there that have, you know, always want to, you know. Now, another topic we'll talk about is Ash vs. Evil Dead. It only had 3 seasons, and it got canceled. Why did it get ended? No one knows. Some story came out that it didn't do very well in the ratings on Starz. We own Starz. And when you have a network like Starz, when it goes by ratings, I mean, Starz doesn't sell advertising time, right? But somehow, some way, they didn't think it worked out, and they end up ending it. It's like, of all the FORESEER shows that Renaissance Pictures made, Hercules: The Legendary Journeys had 6 seasons. Young Hercules had 1. Xena Warrior Princess had 6. Mantis had 1. American Gothic had 1. Cleopatra 2525 had 2. Jack of All Trades had 2. And, you know, Legend of the Seeker had 2. And Ash vs. Evil Dead had 3. So when you think of it, only Hercules and myself are the only 2 shows that at least have 6 seasons. Other ones, you only had 1 or at least 2. And that's not including Spartacus, God Arena, Spartacus Blood and Sand, Spartacus Vengeance, Spartacus War to Damn, because that was done by D. McKnight Productions. Yes, Robert Tappert and Samuel Remy did work with Stephen McKnight on that series, but they were not Renaissance Pictures. They were not Ghost House Pictures. It was D. McKnight Productions. And that had all 4 seasons, but that was not Renaissance Pictures, though. You know, it is kind of sad to know that Renaissance Pictures got closed down again. I mean, it ran from 1979 AD until 2009 AD. And then again from 2015 AD to 2018 AD. But it was a subsidiary of Universal Studios, NBC Universal, when it was first owned by RCA. Then it was owned by General Electronics and Virtual Universal, and then eventually by General Electronics and Comcast, and it's playing Comcast. But, you know, and they could at least, you know, if my show's not going to come back as a FORESEER show, at least make it come back as a movie show. Even if you got to get new show players, I wouldn't mind. You know, there are many other women out there, many other show players that can play Xena as good as Lucille Lawless, you know. I mean, you could even have Angelina Jolie. I mean, look of all the movies and FORESEER shows she's been in. I mean, she could do a good job playing Xena. I mean, that's probably the best you're going to get to close to the look, you know. Now, I have nobody on here right now. My only user went on to work with eggs. Yeah, I lost my user to eggs. Can you believe that one? Well, at least I know that I'm not being handicapped by, you know, followers on YouTube that don't want to forgive you when you block and ban by a mistake. Then you say you're sad about it, and they go, oh, shit, we're gone. When I was on Google Hangout, this would never happen. Nobody would say nothing. I wouldn't get nobody watching. At least I think YouTube live stream is more better than Google. Is more good than Google Hangout. First, I'm clearing my throat. Now I'm burping. Great. Just turning off some more people while we're at it. So here's I always wonder, what does this do? If I click on that arrow, what's the arrow do? I don't know what the arrow does. I don't know. So let's see. All right. I guess I'll keep this going for at least a 6:30 or so. Then Gabe has to go. We're going to get the limousine. We're going to go somewhere. My daughter, Gabrielle, my goddaughters, Jordan and Jade, my sons, Zenos and Osmond, are going to be going to Ollie's. Yeah, I know I'm wealthy now, Xena says, but I still know my roots, okay? So what investments did I invest in today? What did we invest in? The Fox Broadcast Company division of News Corporation. That the Walt Disney Company wants to buy 20th Century Fox from News Corporation, but it's waiting for Comcast to fund them their portion of the Ware Guild for them to do it. Yeah, can you believe the Walt Disney Company asking Comcast to help invest in their buying of 20th Century Fox from News Corporation? But apparently that's what's going on. Apparently the deal will not, the Walt Disney Company will not buy 20th Century Fox from News Corporation until 2019 AD. So they got a year and a half left on ownership of it. Well, speaking of that, Monday Night Raw staying on USA. SmackDown Live moves to Fox Sports come 2019 AD, of course. SmackDown has been on many different networks. When I remember watching, SmackDown was on UPN, then CW, then My Network TV, then Sci-Fi, then USA, and now Fox Sports. You know? But here's another underwarp here. For anyone who wants to come in, you know, there's a FORESEER network called heroes and icons. And it should be good doers and helpers. Good doers and name knowns. And I can't get it on COMCAST. One time, me and Gabrielle, and this is with Gabe and this Osmond. We tried, even with antenna, to turn it in. It didn't show up. So that's why I had to get my. So I know that my show is on Hulu. I know it's on Amazon, but it's Amazon so unorganized. It's on Vudu. It's also on iTunes. I got them all on disc. And I know another thing that some another one might want to ask me is, but it is what it is at this point. I only had one user. Nobody else is on here. I lost that user, to making eggs. So I guess it is what it is at this point. Well, maybe I better do something in this movie, this live stream to make it interesting. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm just a boring woman who's so bloody boring that nobody else wants to watch her. So it is what it is. Well, at least somebody else is coming on now. I don't know who he is or who she is. Maybe it's the same user from before. Maybe it's someone else. I don't know. Well, I guess it is what it is at this point. One person's on. Nobody thumbed it up. I wish you could thumb up your own live streams. You can thumb up your own movies, but you can't thumb up your own live streams. I don't know why. You just can't. Well, somebody thumbed it up. I don't know who did, but thank you for doing that. All right, XENA says, back on to mini underwarps, but if my show would come back, it would be done by Hallmark. I just have this idea that since Hallmark always does shows like that, they would probably do mine eventually. And I mean, come on, when you think of it, I mean, Hallmark did many adaptations. They did their Hercules one, they did their Aladdin one. So they could do a XENA one, okay? They could just call it XENA and just take out the wars woman part out of it out. But it can be done. I mean, okay, granted it's going to be Angelina Jolie or some other name-known or not name-known show player does me. So that's probably what it's going to be. And I happen to also think that if my show would have continued, it would have become what Angel is, So imagine that's what my show would have been if it would have continued. I really don't know where it would have gone, but that's it. Yeah, me and Angel have a lot of things in common, of course. But I guess it is what it is at that point. But me and The Undertaker, we got a lot of things in common, too. And I know a lot of men and women don't see any similarities, but there are. Like there's Undertaker and there's Paul Bear, and then there's Gabrielle. Ted DiBiase and Aries, Alt T and Bray Wyatt, Kalisto and Mankind, just to name a few. Joxer, Todd Pettengill. I could probably go on and on. Shawn Michaels, Aphrodite, There's been, Eve, Kang, see? There's a lot of similarities. And the one man woman who was on left after they fund me up. Yep. Well, I don't want to hear about, so it is what it is. And they didn't even say anything. So I don't know who they were. Someone comes on, they watch a little bit, then they thumb it up, and then they leave. That's the only thing they do. It is what it is at this point. Well, I will show you off the box set. Now, I know that we have shown the box set off on our own YouTube channel and on its own, but most likely got to do it now. No, I'm going to do that. Have to do that. It has to be done. But I guess it is what it is at this point. So I guess you want to see me take out my sword. Yeah, my Toy Biz sword. It's bent. I could have gotten a better one. I could have been a good one, but it is what it is. It's bent. Doesn't stay in my hand, you know. Yeah, don't stay. My sword does not stay in my hand. This is the best I can get it to stay in my hand, and eventually it's going to fall out and hit the floor. There's no hoister, no scabbard, no holder, just some whatever thing. You probably managed how I managed to keep all those things from falling off. I glued them on. When it came off, I had to glue them on. So it is what it is at that point. Well, looks like nobody else is coming on. The one user that did come on at one point had to make some eggs, and somebody else came on, thumbed it up, and then eventually just left. So now I'm just talking to myself, which is probably what everybody on YouTube does until their movie actually becomes playable, you know. And I know there's going to be some other questions. Oh, well, XENA, why don't you never go for YouTube partnership? Don't need it. Don't need all the watching and all the unlooking that comes with it. Yeah, when you're a YouTube partner, you get unlooked more. You get more unlooking than you do when you are a non-partner. It's not just the community guidelines and the terms of service and the copyright you got to worry about. They have to worry about being advertiser friendly. Then you got to worry about if some onlooker on YouTube makes a mistake, and next thing you know, you lose your good standing with community guidelines, or you're doing fair use, but then somebody says you're infringing upon their copyright, so then you lose your good standing with copyright. Or let's say that never happens. Let's say you have Google AdSense, and then one day you lose your Google AdSense, and they reports to the Google AdSense team that you are doing something wrong with your Google AdSense, and you lose that. So you gotta be worrying about that. So I don't want to go through worrying about, you know, all that shit. So I don't really care, you know. And then worrying about advertisers and them not wanting to buy advertising time on your movie or movies, or worrying about losing Weird Guild gift on your movies. No. So many YouTubers out there who are partners always call it a job, but really you don't work for Google or YouTube. Yeah, it's true you do make some Weird Guild from Google AdSense, but you don't really work for them. But a lot of them call it a job, you know. But I never wanted to make YouTube a job, so I just stayed away from that. Plus, they're always changing the qualifications. I mean, if you look at my movies, a lot of them don't get a lot of views. The most popular ones, the most watched ones, those are just a drip in the bucket. The majority of them don't get a lot of views. So a lot of men and women, so that's never going to work out. And I don't got the best watch time either. So that's why YouTube partnership never going to work out. That's why I don't want to be a YouTube partner, and that's why it'll never be that way. You know? But it is what it is. And there's another movie can't say question. That's a European italic French borrowed word. Something else I'm going to ask. Do I own copyright to my movies on YouTube, or I don't? Most I probably don't own any of my movies, since I didn't actually get them filed with the United States Copyright and Trademark Office, so it'll be my word against somebody else. And we all know that as far as the Walt Disney Company is concerned, they own Marvel toys. They own Marvel, and including Marvel Toys, that was once Toy Biz. So, of course, they're going to claim that that doll is trademarked for individual use and whatever. And then from there, we all know that NBC Universal Studios, Renaissance Pictures, and COMCAST are going to say, well, they own XENA and stuff. But then they're going to say, as far as the doll's concerned, that's individual use, so you really couldn't copyright it. Unless you are planning on putting it in a movie or a FORESEER show. Then it might be a different story. But that's never going to happen for me, so. As you know, I have many skills. I'm a wrestler, I'm a show player, I'm a teacher, I'm a celebrity, activist, a humanitarian, I'm an investor, I am an expatriator, I am a muggle, I'm also, what else did I say I was? I was also a mother, a wife, a Catholic. I said that too. And also, where they call, and a shareholder. Yeah, I'm actually the president and chief operating officer of Kuska Capital Group, an investment firm, with my husband, Gabe Kuska, the chairman and chief executive officer. And I'm also a wrestling show boss, too. Yep. I own the Toy Wrestling Federation. I've been running that since last year, 2017 AD, of course. Trying to bring it back to its good days, trying to make it fun for everyone. But at the end, how much fun can you have? How much glee or fun can one man or woman have? I don't really know. Well, apparently nobody else coming on my live stream. I only had one woman or one man who came on, talked a bit, had to go make some eggs. They're gone. Some man or woman comes on, thumbs up my movie, and then leaves. So I got no one. I guess I'm being handicapped because none of the other users are coming on. Not the one from yesterday. Oh, no, we can't come on her bloody live stream. She blocked and banned. And even though she misunderstood what one of the users said, even though she said she was sad for it and unblocked him and unbanned him, it's too late. Can't forgive her. You got to be flawless. Something that no man or woman is. Mankind and womankind, manfolk and womenfolk are flawless. No human being is flawless. All human beings have flaws. I know I said that wrong, but no one's flawless. All right? We all got our flaws. Probably more, some have more than others, but everybody has them. So it is what it is at this point. At least I got someone to come on and watch for a while, and someone to come on and thumb it up and leave. Because it wasn't a complete waste. Yeah. So many people think Google Hangout is so cool. But the truth is, I think that YouTube live stream is more good than Google Hangout. I don't got to see that dumb Google logo on the side. Oh, and by the way, I do got a LG Google Chrome-based computer of Google Chrome OS. The operating system that only very few people have. Since majority of men and women have Microsoft Windows, another portion has Apple Macintosh OS, another one has Linux, some of the small portion also have Google Android. But I think Google Chrome OS is probably the good operating system I've ever had. Granted, it can't do all the same things that Microsoft Windows can, or Apple Macintosh OS can, or Linux or Google Android. But at least you're more safe, from viruses and malware than you would if you had Microsoft Windows or Apple Macintosh OS or Linux or Google Android, And I know that a lot of men and women out there think, well, you could still get directed to evil, bad websites. Shit like that. Yeah, I know you can't. Here's how it works. They got a sandbox, and the sandbox scans the runs every website you run in on its own individual environment. If it detects a virus or a malware of some kind, it contains it. It only affects the tab and nowhere else on the operating system or the computer. So you click the tab away and it's gone. And even if, which say that some malware gets lucky and manages to get out of the sandbox, well, verified trust when it's scanning the computer, scanning the operating system. If it detects it's been tampered if it detects that it's been besmirched in some way, it will power wash itself back to where before that. So it's a more stable, more secure, more well operating system than Microsoft Windows or Apple Macintosh OS or Google Android or Linux. You know, it is what it is at that point. But it looks like nobody else is coming on. Gonna end this live stream soon. You know, was only going to get like only one man or woman on there. I'm clearing my throat again. And then they had to go make eggs, and then somebody else comes on, just thumbs up the movie, and then leaves. Well, that's it. At least it's better than nothing. At least I did get someone to watch it for a while. It wasn't completely bad. I mean, I could have done more good, but it wasn't as bad compared to the Google Hangout I used to do in the past where no one would come on. Nobody would watch it at all. And I want to know who did come on and watch it and who just thumbed it up and left. I don't know. If everybody here is it. Yeah. All right, I'm going to leave now. I'm a very busy effing woman. And I have Twitter. You can go check me out on Twitter if you want. I have YouTube, you know. And that's about it. I'm XENA Pappas, XENA Warrior Princess, XENA Amphipolis. And I will see you all, well, not Saturday or Sunday, Monday. There'll be another movie on Monday.